ego, right? And I think the ego is a very important thing. If you read any of the modern bullshit that is pumped out by the Matrix, they say, you must get rid of your ego. You must remove your ego. But I disagree with that absolutely. That's the Matrix trying to program us all to be slaves. If someone has an ego, they are full of pride. And if you're full of pride, you do a good job. If you are proud of yourself, if you're proud of your body, you're going to have a good body. If you're proud of your work, you're going to do good work. If you're proud of the things you say, you're going to make sure the things you say are intellectual and well thought through, right? So they try and tell you to have no ego, to remove your pride so that you'll accept the programming from the Matrix. They want to make sure that you're an empty vessel. They can just insert their programming. So you need to have an ego. And the ego can either be your best friend or your enemy. An ego you work hard to justify is a superpower. An ego that you have without justification is here to hinder you. So I'll give you an example of me, right? I've always had an ego, but I realized that I was full of shit having an ego if I wasn't actually a capable fighter who was rich as fuck with a dangerous world-class network. I realized that having an ego without those things was just bollocks. So I had 87 professional fights and I made $100 million. And I built the war room and got one of the most powerful networks on the planet. And now I get to have my ego justified and I get to sit here on podcasts and talk with confidence because I've justified my ego. I knew what I wanted to be and I justified it, right? If you have an ego and go, well, I don't have those things, but I don't need those things, then you're fucked, right? So most people are arrogant. I will sit here and tell the world on this podcast that I have a school called Hustlers University that teaches people how to make money online with 18 modern wealth creation methods. It's $49 a month. And there are people who still won't join. Oh, he's full of shit. I have a jet and a boat. 27 supercars.
Not you.
I know people who
Shell
have
company.
Shell company.
15 mansions, etc. And they're going to sit there, listen to all of the things we've said and go, maybe he's lying. Because they are arrogant idiots. They're idiots, right? If Mike Tyson teaches you how to, comes and says, I'm going to show you how to throw a punch. Do you sit there and go, well, you know what, Mike? It's not bad, but I wouldn't do it that way. Or would you sit and go, okay, Mike Tyson, right? So I've always been a very good student. Everything I've learned from people. Even when I was a kickboxing world champion, I became world champion because I just blindly obeyed. It wasn't a matter of, I think this. It was just turn up at the gym, do this. My coach, who was Bosnian Special Forces, he fought in the Yugoslav conflict, would say, you're doing this today. You ain't going home till I've seen 10,000 push-ups. 7 hours later, I did 10,000 push-ups. That was the game. That was it. I just obeyed, right? So most people are so arrogant, even if someone like me wastes their time trying to tell them how to escape slavery, they're too arrogant to even fucking listen. They're going to sit there and go, well, $49, maybe it's a scam. Oh, maybe I scam you out of a Nando's. Oh, no. Boo fucking who? And if you want to, because I want to extrapolate our conversation, I want to tie back to things I said previously. We talked about how education exists in a vacuum. My education doesn't exist in a vacuum. Hustlers University is in competition with every single other purchase on the planet. So I currently have 64,000 students. 64,000 people are inside of Hustlers University paying $49 a month every single month. Don't be impressed I got 64,000 people. Be impressed I retain 64,000 people. Those people are making more than they spend. So you have to understand this. My educational system, it doesn't exist in the same way that traditional educational system